Casey's biggest hits.
A year ago this week, one of the biggest hits in the USA was Don't Cry by a star who began his musical career with a broken tape recorder he found in the trash while he was living on the streets of London. I'll have details and that big hit after this.
American Top 40!
I'm Shadoe Stevens, and this one at number 38 is a debut by a new English artist whose family comes from Nigeria and Brazil. He's Seal and Crazy.
Casey's Top 40.
Every week, Casey's Top 40's heard coast to coast and around the world on great radio stations like 93.7 KRQ, the best music of the 80s and today, Tucson, Arizona. KIOW Mix 107.3, North Iowa's best music mix, Forest City, Iowa. The new 96.5 TIC-FM, today's Top 40, Hartford, Connecticut. And Y97, Santa Barbara's hottest music mix, Santa Barbara, California. Now we're up to the song Prayer for the Dying. It's the current hit for Seal, a singer who had never heard the song played on the radio until he got a call on his car phone. Seal has a theory that you haven't really heard a song until you've heard it played on the radio, especially driving down the road on the car radio. And he spent a fair amount of time driving his Porsche around the British countryside, waiting for the first single from his new album to pop up on his car stereo. He'd flip from station to station, but he just couldn't find it. Seal says he was starting to get discouraged. He was beginning to get the feeling that nobody was playing his new song. But luckily for him, Seal is a gadget nut. He has just about every piece of new equipment that comes out on the market. And one day as he was driving around listening to the radio, he was also trying out his new ultra-high-tech combination car phone and fax. Suddenly, the gadget made a strange sound. For a moment, Seal thought a fax might be coming in. Then he realized it was the ring of a regular incoming phone call. He pushed a button and used the speakerphone feature. The person on the other end was a friend of his named Oswald, who was calling Seal to say that his new song was playing on the radio. Seal quickly told Oswald he'd have to call him right back, and then the singer pulled his Porsche over to the side of the road, tuned in the station, turned up the volume on his stereo, and listened to his song. Seal says the single sounded better on the radio than it did on the stereo at home. And when the DJ said that was the new one from Seal, well worth waiting for, Seal had the feeling the single would be a hit. And he was right. The single went top 10 in England and all over Europe. And when it was released in the U.S., it hit the top 10 as well.
Casey's Top 40.
From Hollywood, this is Casey Kasem, and hovering at number 11 is Seal with a song basketball legend Michael Jordan shoots hoops to in the hit film Space Jam. And while Seal's tall enough to play basketball, he stands 6'4", his favorite sport is snowboarding.
Casey's biggest hits.
A year ago this week, one of the biggest hits in the USA was by a star who began his musical career with a broken tape recorder he found in the trash while he was living on the streets of London. His name is Seal Henry Samuel, though we know him better as Seal. Seal says that he came from a home with a lot of troubles, so many that he ran away from home in his teens. He slept in abandoned buildings and lived on whatever he could scavenge. And one of the items Seal found was a tape recorder that barely worked anymore. But it worked well enough for him to make a tape of his songs that helped Seal land a job singing with a band called Stay Brave, which got him off the streets and on the road to a career that led to one of the biggest hits in the USA a year ago this week.
Casey's Top 40.
From Hollywood, this is Casey Kasem. And dropping 4 notches to number 27 on Casey's Top 40 is Seal, a British singer who recently helped raise over $150,000 to fight AIDS. He participated in a special day of music, skateboarding, and snowboarding at a ski resort in Big Bear, California. All the proceeds from the event went to a music industry charity organization called Lifebeat. Here's Seal with Don't Cry.
Casey, count some down.